to shave video number 2. Since you're watching my second video, this means one of two things. You either saw my first video and thought, hey, this guy isn't so bad, I'll give this fool a chance and I'll watch more of his videos, or this is the first video you've ever stumbled upon, or the 20th video, who knows. So either way, I hope you like this video. Now, in my last video, I kind of replicated my first ever wet shave. From here on out, I'll kind of just, do whatever. I mentioned in my last video that I didn't start bowl lathering until like just a few months ago, and I actually have been wet shaving over 6 years now. So I'm going to talk about today the importance, at least for me, of bowl lathering, because I bought a brush, wasn't so excited once I got the brush. It didn't perform as well as I thought until I bowl lathered. Maybe some of you guys are kind of in the same boat. Maybe I'll use some kind of a brush that wasn't great, and then you did something, you changed up your routine that made that brush, or just that, piece of wet shaving equipment better. So before I get to that, well, I guess I can go ahead and start with that. Here is the brush I'm talking about. It is a Omega synthetic, and I bought this on eBay for a few reasons. It was super cheap. It was only like 10 bucks. And so I don't even really know the model. I just know that it's a synthetic. I didn't own a synthetic, so I wanted to try a synthetic. And I also liked the color. I liked the red and the black. I went to Texas Tech University, and their color scheme is red and black. And so I thought I would purchase a brush that kind of matched that color scheme. And like I said, I wanted to dabble in synthetic brushes. Now, the first time I used it, I noticed that it has a pretty small knot and it has a pretty high loft here to it. But I had read about some synthetic brushes being floppy, and this was the case. It was super soft, don't get me wrong, and it's really never shed at all. I think it maybe shed like one bristle, but I get it, floppy. Like when I tried to apply, I'm not applying any soap right now, but it kind of had this floppy feel to it. And I was just like, I'm glad I only paid 10 bucks for it. And I wasn't getting the performance out of it that I had wanted. You'll notice here in a second when I put soap on it, it's really going to try to gather and make kind of a point instead of making, splaying out. Now you can kind of work it, and that's what I'm going to end up doing here in a second. You'll see you can kind of work it out. But I don't know, at first I wasn't super excited about it. But then I tried bowl lathering for the first time, and it really helped the brush perform much better. So the soap that I'm going to be using with this bowl lather and the synthetic Omega brush is Kiss My Face. It's the Lavender shave soap. I've actually been using this stuff for years. I think, gosh, even in like high school, so over 20 years ago, I was using like a Mach 3 or something like that, but I was able to get my hands on some Kiss My Face. I had some hippie friends that recommended it, and I used it kind of here or there. And then like a couple of years ago, it was really hard to find. I used to just get it at the grocery store, like in the health food section or whatever. But then for some reason, it's miraculously back. And so I've kind of stocked up. I've got several of these kind of canisters. I don't know what you call this, a squirt bottle type thing. It does have a squirt top. So I've got several of those stockpiled. So if it ever is hard to find again, I'm set. I've got some shave soap there. So like I said, I'll start bowl lathering, and then, I wish I could do a comparison of the two, but just take my word for it. It didn't do all that well. I used to just squirt it directly on the brush and then face lather, and now started squirting it in the bowl. So I've squirted about a squirt and a half. I don't know how well you can see that there, but a squirt and a half in the bowl. I've got my brush, I've had it soaking for a bit. And again, I've also heard with synthetic brushes, you don't have to soak a ton, but I do. And I get it fairly dry, I shake it out, I wring it out, and just start to bowl lather. This bowl, nothing fancy. I picked it up on Amazon, it was like 7 or 8 bucks, and it works pretty well. It's stainless steel. I've got another bowl. I'll set this down real quick and I'll show it to you. So this is what I was soaking it in, and I like to keep a little bowl of water. This is a $1 like salsa bowl. I got this at like Walmart or something like that, but it works great as well. It's just one of those cheap salsa bowls. It's got lots of soap scum on it because I've been using it for years. But like I said, I didn't really bowl lather. I just would soak my brush in it and then face lather. So it works for lathering as well, bowl lathering. So starting to get it whipped up here, and I'll do that, and I'll get it going really good, and you'll see that this brush actually isn't so bad. But see, it's kind of got a little point to it. It'll get better though. So in my last video, I talked about other hobbies. I mentioned that I golf, I grill, I play banjo, I ride a motorcycle, I ride a bicycle. I forgot to mention that I homebrew. Any of you guys homebrew? Or, you know, maybe you can even, I think it's illegal to do spirits, to make your own hard liquor. But yeah, I got into homebrewing a few years ago. I moved up to Wisconsin, and everybody here drinks a lot of beer. The stereotype. This is just lathering like crazy though right now, right? Way better lather than I honestly would get on my face. And see how it's starting to like spread out or splay out? Is that the right verb? Splay out? I guess, is it a verb or an adjective? I'm horrible at grammar. Not a hobby of mine. Grammar, not. Okay, so I'll start putting it on my face. And yeah, it performs way better after a bowl lather. I had almost given up on this brush. You wouldn't get this spread had it not been for the bowl lather. It just kind of clumped together, and I had to just kind of paint it on, which isn't bad, I mean, but floppy. See how it's kind of, I'll do it over here. Kind of, I was just getting that. I wasn't getting what I wanted out of it. And now I'm like, dude, 10 bucks. I got a good brush for 10 bucks. Okay. I think that'll work. I apologize, with my first video, I have two cameras. I've got a Canon DSLR here, and I've got a Google Pixel over here, and I'm better with my Canon than I am with my phone. And I didn't know how to lock the ISO or lock the iris on the first video. I figured it out. So this one, it won't be jumping around all crazy. Won't be jumping around from dark to light and dark to light. So razor blade wise, I'll switch back over here. Razor blade wise, today came in the mail this electric blue RazoRocK Baby Smooth. I saw it on eBay. It was used, but it was really cheap. So I bought it and got it home today, disinfected it, and it's ready to rock. I thought this is really cool, very futuristic looking. I love the blue, and I think it's cool how you don't see any of the blade sticking out on the sides. It's also got a hardcore like curve to it. I don't know. It was 20 bucks. I thought it was worth it for picking up just a unique, cool blue razor. So let's see how it performs. It's aluminum. So it's super lightweight. So far so good. Sorry if I was rambling earlier. Home brewing. Another one of my hobbies. Video games. I play a lot of video games. Xbox, Nintendo Switch. I probably have too many hobbies. Photography. I've got this Canon camera. This razor's doing great. So the blade I'm using with it is a Treet Falcon. I'm a big fan of Treet blades, and the Treet Falcon happens to be, I believe, a carbon steel blade, which I've heard those are prone to rusting. This is only like my third time to use this blade, so haven't had any rusting yet with it. But carbon steel, from what I'm told, gives a really good shave, and I've had good luck with it. I've never had any issues with carbon steel. I've got a couple of carbon steel blades. The Treet Falcon. And that's going pretty good. I feel like the lighting for this video isn't too bad. I'm in my upstairs bathroom this time. The wife and kid are downstairs asleep. It's pretty much the same bathroom. It looks almost the exact same. If I had to say anything, you probably would have noticed. That is working beautifully. The shower curtain is a little bit different than the one downstairs. And this is like our guest one. It doesn't get used as much. Went for a walk this evening. The weather was beautiful. In western Wisconsin, it doesn't get very hot. Our high temperature today was like 78 degrees, and it's the middle of July. And then, when I went on my walk, it was like 68 or 70. Low humidity. I talked to my folks. They live in Texas. It was like 103 there today. And humid. I grew up in West Texas. My folks live in like Central Texas now, and it's much more humid. Closer to the Gulf. If you follow my channel, you're going to hear a lot about the weather. Which I don't see anything wrong with that. That's kind of, you know, this is kind of a grandpa activity that we're doing here. And weather is something that old men talk about. Did I mention in my last video the Neowise Comet? So the Neowise Comet is viewable for a couple of more days. The northwest. Honestly, by the time I post this, probably won't be viewable anymore, but it's a large comet in the northwest. If you've watched the news, you've seen it. Very large comet. I saw it the other night. Pretty cool. Had to go out to a lake, like a dark area, like a beach with a lake, overlooking a lake. And got to see it there. The same lake freezes in the winter. People go ice fishing there. I have walked all over that lake. From like all the way across, it's like 1 mile. And then like in the middle of January, I've walked all the way across it. People drive on it and stuff. I mean, I know some of you that are watching this, frozen lakes are not that big a deal, but for us southern boys, frozen lake's a big deal. It was weird seeing a frozen lake. And then to drive on it, you know. I don't know if I'd drive my truck on a frozen lake. Maybe like a four-wheeler or a snowmobile. In Canada, they call them snow machines. In case you didn't know that. Okay, second pass. With the RazoRocK Baby Smooth Electric Blue. I am liking this razor. It's nice. Good purchase. I've had some duds. I've bought a couple of razors and just stuff that sucked, you know. We all have. I'm just glad my first razor, first brush, first soap was good. Good experience, and then that kind of got me hooked. More about the soap. So yeah, it's Kiss My Face Lavender, and it's got a nice lavender scent to it. Kiss My Face also makes like a green tea that's really, it smells really good, like a green tea. I think it's like green tea eucalyptus. They make a lime that's pretty good. And thought there was one under. I mean, I think they have an unscented. Oh, a mint. I'm not huge on mint. Brush my teeth. That's where I get my mint. Or around Christmas time. I'll eat a candy cane or two to appease the Christmas gods. Christmas is coming up in 6 months, pretty much. Talk about like a stressful, I don't know, it can be stressful. I try not to let it stress me out too much. I am a big fan of Christmas music. I start listening to Christmas music like after Thanksgiving, not before Thanksgiving. No, sir. Let Thanksgiving do its thing. So there's this thing called the Little Drummer Boy Challenge. I'm probably going to forget that I'm recording this, and then closer to Christmas, this will get mentioned again. A friend of mine a few years ago said, dude, have you heard of the Little Drummer Boy Challenge? And I'm like, no, I have no idea what that is. And he said, you try to go, you get a group of friends, and you all get on a text group message, and you see who can go the longest without hearing the song Little Drummer Boy. Like on the radio, at a shopping center, whatever. Like you just see who can go the longest without hearing the song Little Drummer Boy. And then if you hear it, you have to text the group and be like, I'm out. And everyone can agree on a prize, I guess. Something to do around the holidays. Just gonna get these little spots right here. Hopefully I don't open that spot up. If you saw in the last video, I've got a little spot right here that is probably going to open up. It's probably going to start bleeding. My luck. If I can get through a couple of shaves without opening it up, then it maybe will heal. I think we did it. I think so. Okay. Yeah, it's not bleeding. I think we're good. If I can make it through like one more shave without opening that spot up, I'm good. Alright, let's wrap this up. It's warmer in this upstairs bathroom. Heat rises. Sort of weather related. Get the towel wet here. I am impressed with the RazoRocK Baby Smooth Electric Blue. Got my shirt all wet. The aftershave balm that I'm using is probably my favorite aftershave balm. It's Dove Men Care Plus Post Shave Balm Hydrate Plus. I found this a few years ago, 5-6 years ago. It's actually kind of hard to find, but you can find it at, mostly at Walgreens or drugstores and grocery stores and whatnot. It's fairly cheap. It's like $5. Good stuff. I like the scent a lot. It's kind of a squirt. It sits upside down, kind of, like ketchup bottles have started doing as of the last few years. Really nice light scent. I like it. I'll use a aftershave splash next time, since these first two have been a balm. Good stuff. Okay. Well, that'll do it, I guess. Thank you guys for indulging me talking about comets and Christmas in July and Little Drummer Boys, home brewing. You're going to hear a lot of talk about various beers. I'll probably drink a beer every now and then. I like to have a shower beer. My wife got me this thing that you can kind of hang. Anyways, I think I'm good. Talk to you guys later.